everyone, this is Rabbit's Blog Animation Bliss, and welcome to another anime news roundup. So we had a bit of anime news happening last week, and before we get into what has been going on for the past few weeks, here are a few words from the channel. Hey guys, if you want to check out more content from this channel, then tune in every Sunday and Monday for new videos. And if you happen to see any videos posted up during the week, that must mean there was a bit of anime news that we wanted to talk about, so those would be considered special videos. And if you want to chat with us on social media or see when new videos are being released, then follow us through Twitter and Facebook. And also, please feel free to join our new Facebook group, Chat with Animation Bliss, where we talk about animation with other animation fans. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program. So the first bit of news that happened is that Chicken Run will be getting a sequel that will be made by Netflix. The second bit of news that has happened is that Beavis and Butthead will be getting a reboot on Comedy Central, and the reboot will focus on Beavis and Butthead being the Generation Z setting. And the last bit of news is the controversy regarding Elmer Fudd, one of the most popular Looney Tunes characters, not having a gun in the Reboot series. So now let's get into thoughts for the day, where I give out my opinions regarding about this week's news. So regarding the first bit of news about Chicken Run getting a sequel, I will admit to you guys I have never actually seen Chicken Run before. I have heard about the movie when it first came out in the early 2000s, but I never really got the chance to watch the movie. But I am surprised that this movie is getting a sequel and on Netflix, since I'm surprised that Netflix was able to get the rights to Chicken Run and is able to make a sequel about it. Now, despite the fact that I haven't seen Chicken Run yet, I do have a few concerns regarding this sequel. For one thing, will Aardman Animations be working with Netflix in making the sequel? Because Aardman Animation was the ones that made the first movie in the early 2000s, and I wonder if they're going to hire Aardman Animations to do the sequel also. The second concern I have about the sequel is, will the sequel be in stop-motion animation or will it be in CGI animation? And the reason why I'm concerned about this is because the first movie was in stop-motion animation, and at the time of its release, it was the highest grossing stop-motion animated film made at the time, and I'm wondering if the sequel will be also in stop-motion animation or will it be in CGI animation, since Aardman Animation is well known for doing stop-motion animated films. But I will make an effort to watch Chicken Run down the line so I can get refreshed with this movie first before I watch the sequel once it comes out. Now, regarding the second bit of news about Beavis and Butthead getting a reboot, this has actually been floating around the internet for many years now. Like, originally they were going to have Beavis and Butthead have a reboot in the early 2010s, but that never really surfaced. But now they're working on the reboot, and they're stating that the reboot is going to take place in current times, so that is very interesting to me, especially since I would like to see how Beavis and Butthead react to current times and what their attitudes would be like in this day and age versus what their attitudes were like back in the 1990s. And I hope that this reboot is something like Rocko's Static Cling, where Rocko, Heifer, and Filbert are the same characters they were from the 1990s, but they're experiencing some new things that's going on in 2010's decade. So I wonder if that's the same case with Beavis and Butthead, that they would still be the same idiotic characters they were from the 1990s, but they're also experiencing some of the new things that's going on in the 2020s decade. So that would be very interesting to see once the reboot does get made. And the last bit of news about Elmer Fudd not having his gun in the Looney Tunes reboot series, that's actually something that I kind of saw happening a mile away. Like, there's a lot of kids shows where the characters don't really have guns because they don't want to inflict gun violence in the audience, especially with young kids who are very impressionable at that age and are easily able to get a gun if they think that the character carrying that gun looks cool and everything like that. So I can kind of see why they wouldn't have Elmer Fudd have a gun in the reboot series, just to prevent that from happening. And not to get political here, but because of the increase of gun violence going on in real life, I can see why they didn't want Elmer Fudd to have a gun in this series, since that would incite some violence. So for me personally, this doesn't really affect me, since I kind of saw coming a mile away that Elmer Fudd was not going to have his gun in a new series, especially with the increase of gun violence and the fact that it's a kids show, so they wouldn't allow guns in the show in the first place. So that's my opinion about the whole thing. Well, that's the news for the week, and tell me in the comments down below, how do you feel about each news that was released this week? Are you excited for the Chicken Run sequel? Are you excited for the Beavis and Butthead reboot? And how do you feel about Elmer Fudd not having his gun in the Looney Tunes reboot series? Please feel free to comment down below. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rabbit's Blog Animation Bliss, and I'll see you all later. Hey guys, like this video? Then please feel free to hit that like button. And also, hit that subscribe button for more animation content from this channel. And now, roll the credits please.